Alright, so now that the worst movies of 2021 have been covered, let's talk about the best movies of this year because, trust me, there were a lot of good films. Now, keep in mind that I haven't reviewed every single movie that I'm about to list, and I've also not seen every great movie this year, such as A Quiet Place 2 and Free Guy, so those unfortunately won't be making the list. However, the ones that are on the list truly deserve to be on the list. So before we get into the main list, let's mention a few honorable mentions. Respect, an Aretha Franklin biopic that needed a better script and pacing, but Jennifer Hudson's reincarnation of Aretha Franklin deserves her some attention for Best Actress at awards season this coming year. The Harder Day 4, I didn't love it, but I think it was a solid western that didn't really overstay its welcome. Bruce, Halle Berry's directorial debut, it kind of reminded me of Creed, except a bit more lesser, but I definitely enjoyed it. And The Mitchells versus the Machines. I haven't seen it since it first came out, but easily it shows that Sony Pictures Animation is coming up with great content nowadays. Congratulations to all those movies, despite the fact that they weren't perfect. I could see myself popping them in again, but these films on the main list do deserve to be on there. So let's get started. Number 5, King Richard. Now, let me say two things. Unfortunately, I can't show much of the footage because Warner Brothers will put copyright claims on this video. And also, I can't really see myself rewatching this movie because it isn't very well paced. It is very slow, but easily. Will Smith's performance was very powerful. I liked his scenes. There was one scene where he got beaten up by bullies that I really liked. And I also thought that the cinematography was very bright and vibrant. And that original song from Beyonce was amazing. And those three things combined easily makes this one of Will Smith's best movies in a really long time. Number 4, No Time to Die, my first and probably my last James Bond movie. I checked out this film to see how the James Bond movies were like, and this gave me a good idea. I really appreciated the artistic creativity behind it. Daniel Craig was brilliant in the film. I thought it was beautifully shot. The action was intense and thrilling. I would admit that the movie was quite slow, and I really wish that Rami Malek had more time to shine in his role. The story sometimes dragged due to some exposition, and I'm sure that's what other James Bond movies had. But other than that, I do like the locations they went to. I do like how the story went most of the time. The action was great, and I think this is a great finale to James Bond, as in Daniel Craig's version. And while it isn't a masterpiece, I do think that the reason why this film is on this list is because of the creativity behind it. Number 3, Spider-Man No Way Home, a film that we could all agree was the best comic book movie of the year. 2021 had a lot of disappointing comic book movies, and most of them were obviously from the MCU. However, Spider-Man No Way Home solidifies some of my faith in the MCU. This is going to be the last MCU movie that I see because I'm getting bored of them. But overall, what No Way Home delivered was a solid, satisfying, and entertaining conclusion to the MCU Spider-Man trilogy. What I wanted was not a perfect comic book movie, but a comic book movie that had its flaws but was still able to maintain a great entertainment value. And that's what No Way Home gave me. I love the progression of this series. I like how it went from a normal John Hughes teenage comedy superhero movie to this like Spider-Man version of Avengers Endgame. Seeing all these Spider-Man characters cross over that people have wanted to see for a very long time might satisfy a lot of people and myself, since I've enjoyed a few of these characters, which truly satisfied me. Now, is this the best Spider-Man movie out there? No, I still say Spider-Verse, because No Way Home, yes, I really enjoyed it, but I do think there were some moments with the villains that felt like nostalgia bait. It was a bit too long. I do think there were some things that could have been handled a lot better. But with entertaining action sequences, very well written story, beautiful cinematography, and a beautiful ending, which I still will not spoil in case you haven't seen the movie, I think that Spider-Man No Way Home clearly solidifies why Tom Holland is the best on-screen Spider-Man to be out there. And if this is the end of the MCU Spider-Man trilogy, fingers crossed, because I think that Tom Holland went out with a bang with this film. But just know, I'm still not seeing the new Doctor Strange. Number 2, Encanto. Now, originally, I wasn't going to see the film because I thought it was going to be trash, especially since I've seen Disney do this kind of stuff with Frozen and Moana. But then my sisters saw the movie and they loved it. So I decided, you know what, why not give it a try? And overall, I was legitimately surprised with Encanto. Much like what Disney and Pixar did with Coco, Encanto beautifully portrays Colombian representation. I thought that the representation was very beautiful, and the movie had some very colorful animation. Now, yes, the animation does look like something that you've seen in other Disney projects, but I do think that it was more vibrant and it didn't really bug me because I thought that most of the characters were likable. They weren't perfect, but they were okay. There was technically no villain in this movie, so this allowed the Encanto to be more balanced and focused. The voice talent was obviously really good, but the songs were very catchy. I thought that the musical numbers were definitely much more better than I thought, especially We Don't Talk About Bruno, which my sisters have been singing at home quite a lot. Overall, I thought that Encanto, not a perfect movie. It definitely did have a few problems, but I was very interested in the mystery of how the family was losing its magic. Obviously, the animation was colorful, the voice acting was great, and the musical numbers were definitely very creative. And it showcased how musicals are getting better and better over time. So, what could be a number one? What could be better than Encanto and Spider-Man No Way Home? I'm about to tell you, because at number one, the best movie of 2021 is Judas and the Black Messiah. Now, a lot of people think that this movie came out in 2020, and that's a lie because it came out in February 2021. A bit too early for a movie coming out in 2021, but it's still the best movie of the year. I saw this movie for the second time, I think about a week or two ago, and I was like, this movie has to be on the best of year list. It has to be number one. And this is why it's number one. You got Ryan Coogler and Charles D. King producing a crime drama based on a true story, based on the Black Panther Party led by Fred Hampton. And for someone who's learned about Black history at school, I feel like this movie was a history lesson and an engaging and compelling history lesson. Seriously, Judas and the Black Messiah was definitely one of the most intense movies that I've seen all year. It's essentially about William O'Neill, who infiltrates the Black Panther Party to gain intelligence on the chairman, Fred Hampton, so they can kill him. And this will also increase O'Neill's arrest after stealing a car whilst posing as a federal officer. And thanks to Lakeith Stanfield's fantastic performance, you can tell like he soon becomes really close with Fred Hampton and doesn't really want to kill him. And that's like, I think that's one of the deepest kind of plot points throughout the film. Daniel Kaluuya was fantastic as Fred Hampton. He gave one of the best performances of the year, and he was definitely deserving of that Best Supporting Actor award at the Oscars. You can tell that despite the fact that he's a British actor, he completely transformed into like something else. You couldn't tell if he was British or not. And at the end of the day, we get a performance that is a reincarnation of an overlooked Black history hero, along with a screenplay that's filled with tension and suspense, great action sequences, great pacing, beautiful cinematography. Easily, I would consider Judas and the Black Messiah worth watching, as it is the best movie of 2021. I don't want to make this tearjerky, cringy. I want this to be quick and done. Whether you just liked on the video, commented, or especially if you subscribed or even disliked on this video when the dislikes button on YouTube was working. Whatever you did to support my videos, I just want to say thank you. I truly appreciate it. I've enjoyed answering to your comments in the comment section. I've appreciated the views, the likes that I've been getting. I've been appreciating the growing amount of subscribers that we're getting. At the time of making this video, we're about 56 subs already. Let's see if we can get to 100 in 2022. But anyway, that video you just saw was the best of year list. What are your favorite movies of 2021? What movies did you like? What are your least favorite movies of this year? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please remember to like, share, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notification. Thank you for watching my videos this year. Making these videos are hard, but it eventually pays off when I get to answer to your comments praising the video. So I really appreciate that. And fingers crossed that we make it to next year, where we rank the worst and best movies of 2022. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch all of you in 2022.